Did you know that I offer coaching for women just like you, burnt out entrepreneurs who want to slow down and seek God first in their business, but aren't sure how to tactically apply this to your life in a practical way? During your 60-minute one-on-one coaching call, I will show you how, and we will start with auditing your goals and realigning them with God so you can have peace and purpose through your journey of entrepreneurship. You can book your faith-led entrepreneur coaching call at www.revivalb.co. I will also put the link for scheduling that call in the show notes of today's episode. There's really no reason to wait. Book your call today. I cannot wait to talk to you soon. Hey babe, my name is Beth, and I'm so glad you're here at the Seeking Over Striving podcast. Are you feeling totally burnt out on entrepreneurship? Do you constantly think about how to make more money and feel frustrated because you never have enough time in the day to cross off your growing to-do list? Are you sick of feeling mom guilt because you're always working and staring at your phone? And don't you wish you could just feel less stressed? Stop worrying about money and be more present with your family? As a mom of 3, wife, and entrepreneur of 20 years, I get it. I've been there. Sometimes I'm still there. Even as a Christian woman and avid Bible study reader, I got lost in the hustle of boss babe culture. I was working to build an empire and achieve everything on my vision board for my own fame and glory. When I hit rock bottom of burnout, God said, "Stop what you've been doing and just follow me." I'm going to show you how to slow down and seek God first in your life and your business. The money you want, the time you need, and the peace you dream about will fall into place when you reprioritize God at the top of your list. So I invite you to come and see. Let's follow Jesus, renew our minds, and abide in His grace through the journey of entrepreneurship. Hello, friend. Today we are going to talk about 3 easy steps to overcome burnout. When I first thought of this episode, I thought this is so easy and simple, and we've all talked about this a million times, so why talk about it again? But I thought this is something that is so easy to backslide into, and even though these are things we know in the back of our mind, old habits die hard, and we kind of just like slide into doing the same old thing we always do, and then we get back to this burnout place. So I thought, even though these are things we probably all know, it's great to talk about them as a reminder. So the first thing is sit down and audit your schedule. What are you doing? What are all your tasks? What are your obligations? What are your work hours? How many things are you doing for work? Are you overworking? Are you over volunteering? Because yes, that is a thing, to be over serving, because that could also be like people pleasing. So what are you doing? Sit down and audit your schedule. It's going to be hard to do this because it takes time. It's probably going to realistically take you at least 15 minutes. So I know when you're already busy and strapped for time, it's like, okay, now I have to do this one thing, but it'll be so worth it. Just sit down for 15 minutes and literally make a list or look at your Google Calendar or both and see what is it that you're doing for that week. And if time allows, you can even look ahead for the entire month. Because we need to see, how are you using your time? Are you using it intentionally? And again, are you saying yes to too many things? Are you people pleasing? There is a way to be doing too much, even if it's too much of a good thing. So first thing, audit your schedule. And then the second thing is figure out what you can let go of. Where can you delegate some things? And I'm talking like you can delegate very simple things. Are you the mom that loads the dishwasher because you like it loaded in a systematic way? That's great. But guess what? If you have a child, probably older than the age of 5, they can load the dishwasher. Okay? Even a 5-year-old is capable of loading the dishwasher or unloading it. How many of you don't make your kids do their laundry? And I mean, these are things that I'm pulling out of my head in my own house. Like, my kids can fold laundry. I don't have to do it all the time. I'm going to do it a lot of the time, yes. But I don't have to do it every time, or they can at least put it away. Even having your kids put their own laundry away is going to save you 10 minutes. That's amazing. You can get something else done in 10 minutes. I know that sounds like such a silly example, but it's true. What things can your family help you do? And then we don't want to come at them in like a negative way, like, like you're mad at them for not helping or whatever. But I mean, you can also just say, like, hey, I need some help. I have a lot on my plate. We got a lot of stuff going on this week. Like, it would really help me if you guys put your own laundry away. And of course, we all know how kids are. It doesn't mean that they're just going to jump up and do it. Maybe they will. Hopefully they will. But, we kind of have to retrain the people in our lives to help us do things if we are the ones that are usually doing everything, but there's no reason that everyone in our house cannot help. Or, in your business, maybe you have a VA. Is there anything else you can hand off to them? Or, maybe you have a partner or a coworker. What things can you guys do more as a team? Or is there, I don't know. I feel like as women, and especially as entrepreneurs, we tend to just like fill our plate with so much, and we just kind of want to do everything ourselves, or we think we can do it all ourselves, or we think we do it better than everybody else, so we do it ourselves. But really, there are so many things we probably can really delegate off to lighten our load a little bit. And another thing, like see where you can delegate, but also see what you can let go of doing completely. Like, what are things that you're doing just out of obligation? And I'm talking things that, like, I mean, you have to make your family dinner. Yes. And sometimes, and maybe depending on your house, that is something you can get help with if you have kids that are older, or maybe your husband doesn't mind cooking, or he likes cooking and his schedule allows for it, or whatever. But like, what are things that you're doing because you just feel like you have to, or you feel guilty about it, or whatever, like stuff that you really can let go of. Like, maybe you're the woman that's on like 15 boards or volunteer committees. Okay, not really 15, but I mean, I don't know, maybe some of you are on 15. Can you step away from any of those? Like, if your heart's really into serving on all of them and you realistically can, that's awesome. But if you really can't, it is also okay to let go and step away. And I think, again, as women and entrepreneurs, even in those roles outside of work, if we're volunteering for something, it's easy to feel like, well, if I don't do it, nobody else will. And that really could be further from the truth. Like, if this is something that God really hasn't put on your heart to do, and it's okay to step away from it, and there is someone else there to fill that space. Like, he already has that person ready. So again, step 1, audit your schedule. Step 2, figure out what you can delegate away or what you can cut out completely. And then the third thing is the most important thing: block time into your life for God. Now, we don't want our faith and our journey with God to be this box that we check, to be like, okay, time with God, done. But the reality is too, in our busy schedules, sometimes we do have to block that in. Like, you realistically are going to have to block that time in for the most part. I mean, some of you maybe not, but I think for most of us, we have to legitimately put that time on our calendar. And I mean, even if you have a commute, I feel like, you can listen to a worship podcast, or you can listen to worship music, or you can listen to, I don't know, there's probably a million, like some audiobook that's like, scripture, relationship building, things like that. But also, and those things are all great to do, but like if you're commuting, you're still driving, there's still distractions. Like, it would be great if you could block 15 minutes of just real, actual quiet time, like uninterrupted time. And even if that 15 minutes has to be at the very beginning of your day, before your family's awake, like if you're waking up 15 minutes early, I mean, that's doable. It's really doable to wake up. Okay, realistically, wake up 20 minutes early to block off 15 minutes of quiet time. And then, or at the end of your day, after the kids go to bed, even if that 15 minutes is like that 15 minutes before you go to bed, that's great. Or, maybe it's 15 minutes right when your kids go to bed, and then after your 15 minutes, you still have a whole like mess of stuff to do, that's fine. But really legitimately try to block 15 minutes. And even in that moment where it's like, okay, well, I'm blocking this time on my calendar and it kind of just feels like a, tactical checklist thing, and it doesn't feel like, heart growing, relationship growing with God. It will feel that way. It's still better than doing nothing, and you can still approach it, even if it's scheduled, as something that you're wanting to do from the heart, and it's not just like this duty that you're checking off your list. But having that time and like praying, reading a devotional, listening, to an audiobook or a pod, even if you want to listen to something, that's fine, but still try to do it undistracted. Like try to keep it away from like your commute or while you're doing the dishes or whatever. If you want to listen to something, that's awesome, but still try to do it to where you literally can just like lay on your bed or lay on the couch, or even if you're sitting in your car, in your driveway. Like I've done that so many times. I feel like lots of working moms do that. We end up, or I would sit in my car in the parking lot at my work space at the end of the day for like 10 minutes just to like decompress. Even if it's something like that, that's awesome. Like if you're not physically driving, you're not really going to be distracted by other things. If you're just sitting quietly in your car, that's awesome too. So anyway, those are my 3 tips to overcome burnout. Again, number 1, audit your schedule. Number 2, figure out what you can delegate or cut out completely. And number 3, block 15 minutes of your day for quiet time with God. And again, I feel like this stuff is like really simple and something that we've probably all talked about a lot. But as life gets busy and we just start doing, and we kind of have just been in this autopilot mode for so long, that even when you do these things intentionally, you just kind of start backsliding into the old habits of life where your to-do list grows and your schedule gets full. And then suddenly you're like wiped out again. And you're like, okay, why does all of this feel like so stressful every day? And it's just because we've slipped out of our priorities. Anyway, hopefully that helps. I will see you here next time. So much for joining me today. I pray that today's episode was just what you needed. Isn't it awesome how God always shows up? I would be forever grateful if you would please leave me a review on Apple Podcast. This helps the visibility of the show and will help spread God's message. And you can also share this episode with a friend who you know may be blessed by it as well. Don't forget, you can join us in the free Facebook community, Seeking Over Striving, where you will find judgment-free fellowship and accountability and biblical encouragement. Okay, friend, I love you so much. I will see you here next week, but until then, do not forget to slow down, stop chasing your dreams, and keep your eye on the